If you're currently expecting, you're in the third trimester, or you're overwhelmed by all of the things you need to do to prep before baby is here, this is the video for you, okay? Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shadiamond, a homeschooling mom to an 8, 6, and 3-year-old, and I'm currently pregnant with baby number 4. So I'm currently in my third trimester, month 8 to be exact, and in this video I want to share some things that I don't really see in other videos. I know you can really Google third trimester checklist and you can find many checklists on the internet, but there is something that's missing from those. Like, there's an area for us specifically, or myself specifically, that I'm like, it's not included, but it's very important. And one thing I've learned over the years of giving birth and having to prep and prepare beforehand is that we prep a lot for baby, but not a lot for postpartum. So my third trimester checklist is going to be it's going to look a whole lot different from many of the ones that you see online. Also, there are a few different focuses of There are a few different focuses of the third trimester checklist, and I saved a few photos so I can go through and just show you what they focus on. So for many, they say prepare your home, prepare for baby, prepare for birth, prepare yourself. Let's see what the other one says, because I kind of screenshotted a few of them and I'm like, I don't see anything about prepare postpartum, and that's something that you should be more prepared for than your baby. Of course, learning what to expect, what to do, how to prepare your body, your mind is very important, but what's going to happen after you have your baby, that's just as important, and it is often neglected. Right? As a first-time mom, I had no insight whatsoever what I should expect, what would help me transition of being a first-time mom, to make things easier for me. I had no one to tell me that. So it wasn't until my third time going in, when I chose a midwife, that she really focused and prioritized me getting myself together for postpartum, putting plans into place, finding support people, prepping in advance, and things of that nature. So that's my little spiel, but I'm gonna get right into it. I have me a little checklist. It's very lengthy, and I even wrote some on the back, but for me, as I said in the beginning, I am a homeschooling mom. So for me, I'm like, I have to prep for my children. So as I said in the beginning, I am a homeschooling mom, and I have to include them in my third trimester checklist. Like, what are we gonna do about homeschooling? Are we taking a break? Are we prepping in advance? Am I buying other things? So my checklist is gonna cover all of this as well. So we're gonna get right into it. It's broken up into different sections. How many do I have? It's looking like four sections. But basically, we're going to get started with what's on here. Now, there isn't a specific timeline or order that you should do these things. It's more so the tasks and things of that nature that I personally felt that was important to me for me to do. So one on my list, the first category I would say is going to be health, wellness, and relationships. So making sure you're good, your family's good, and stuff like that. So I have scheduled self-care for myself, as well as dates with my husband. So for me and my husband, I was like, I really want to do at least one date night a month up until baby comes. Just to keep that spark, just to keep things fun and just enjoy our time before we're in the house for a while, right? And as far as scheduling self-care for yourself, that could be getting your hair done, mani-pedi, prenatal massage, whatever you deem self-care, a day to yourself, a few hours to yourself, just things of that nature. And that is something that you'll realize as a mom, that prioritizing yourself, filling up your cup, is the best way to take care of everyone in your family. If you're putting yourself last, it's going to lead to burnout, and you're not going to be able to put your best foot forward. You're not going to be able to nourish your body the way you need to for pregnancy, and that's very important. My second thing was to book a prenatal massage. I have not had one, y'all, but this time my husband is like, yes, I'm gonna let you go, you know, get a massage at this place. And I'm like, I'm definitely feeling it. I think it's very important. I don't know why I haven't done it before now. They are a bit on the pricier side, at least $100 or so plus dollars. So I'm like, you know, whenever it's fine. I'm not really picky, but that is something that you can do, especially in the third trimester, specifically when you're starting to feel the aches and the pains, the tension, when you're trying to get ready to, you know, just get things calm for baby's arrival. All right, the next thing on my list is choose a baby name. And for some people, this is a fun and easy thing to do. For us this time around, we still really don't have a name. And we only have a few weeks left, and this is so like not our norm. So I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But I'm leaving it up to my husband, and you know, whenever he makes his mind up, we're just gonna go with that. All right, the next thing on my list is a purchase a gift for my husband. I feel like throughout pregnancy, like the support system that you have is so important. And for me, I'm like, my husband always does his big one for me, okay? As far as supporting and making sure I'm comfortable, that I got what I need, that I got what I want. You know, postpartum care is A1, like, so it's everything is there, right? So I just want to surprise him with something special to let him know that I appreciate him, which I could just verbally say that, but I want it to be, you know, unexpected. Maybe I could do it like right after having the baby, giving it to him then. He won't be expecting anything, right? He'll be focused on things I need, things the baby need, you know, getting the house prepared, the kids and all of that. But that's just something that I want to do personally. All right, the next thing on my list is book family or maternity photos. I'm not really big on this, but I do have my own camera, so I can schedule my own little session, you know, do something nice in the house just for memory's sake, and then maybe do another session after baby is born. Close the door.
I'm not making a lot of noise in there.
Okay. Yeah, schedule a session. I may ask a friend of the family to do our photos, or I may just try to do something quick here just to print off and, you know, serve as a memory. All right, next is to increase water intake. Make sure I stay hydrated. That could be with electrolytes or fruits or just water, remembering to drink the recommended amount of water. Very, very important. Just to support my energy, my hydration, and help prepare for labor, right? All right, next is to maintain a workout routine. And this one is laughable, I'm gonna say, because as long as I get some steps in, I feel like I'm okay. I do my stretches, I still go to therapy, where I do work out. But I do stretches, sometimes I do like 10-minute workouts. The later you get in your pregnancy, the more you don't want to do a lot of strenuous things, but it is necessary to stay moving, to stay active. And how active you stay depends on you and what you was doing pre-pregnancy, and you know what's comfortable for your body right now. Being I'm 8 months pregnant, look, things are changing, and I can't really do as much as I used to, but I do try to still get stretches in and, you know, prioritize those lower body strengthening exercises and things like that. And then I also have take a birth class and hospital tour. So the list was kind of like flipped upside down, where some of the things I've already done was at the bottom and things I still need to do is at the top. But I've already done this. So why is it important to take a birth class in a hospital tour? If you're giving birth in the hospital, you need to know what they offer. You need to know.
And if you go to the hospital, if the baby is kicking out, then we got to go to the hospital and teach the baby.
You're right. So the importance of this is a lot of moms go in during the preparations, like all the baby gear, all the baby clothing, you know, the registries, and they think they have a feel of what's expected, but they don't really know what the hospital policies are, what the room will look like, where to go when you get there, what's expected, and things of that nature. So I did do a hospital tour this time around. This time we are giving birth in the hospital. My last delivery experience was a home birth, which I absolutely loved, and I will always recommend that as number one, right? But anywho, and as far as a birth class, you just want to know what are the stages of pregnancy, what's to be expected, when you're in labor, what's expected, when should you go to the hospital, what's going on with your body. You need natural pain techniques. If you plan to get an epidural, you need to know what that entails and things of that nature. So you have to go in being prepared. Your provider is not going to give you all of this information. They're looking to you to make sure that you're educated on what's going on with your body, because ultimately you made the decision to have a baby and you should be educated. Yes. Basically what I'm saying is get yourself educated. Many of these tours, birth classes are sponsored by the hospital and they are free. I just took one like last week, childbirth class, and it was 2 hours, right? I also got access to a free course that was worth $200, but it was free because I registered through the hospital. This is something I can go and review over and over. This is something I can share with other moms, but it's like, get prepared, know what to expect. When you're walking in the hospital and you don't know what to expect, things can go left really quick. If you go there too early, there may be interventions, right? So it's important that you know what's going on, what you're walking into, and that you are prepared, okay? All right, moving on. That's pretty much all that was on the health and wellness and relationship type thing. But you know what? I forgot something. So something else I'll add is to do like solo dates with your children if you have other children. So I've already told my children, I'm like, look, I'm gonna go out with y'all individually, pick something you want us to do, just us two, right? I do have 3, so they already gave me their ideas, and that'll be something that we do, and also just spending a lot more time with them and just talking to them about what's going on, doing special projects, making memories and things of that nature. All right, moving on to the home and nesting systems. These are the things that we know what to expect, right? Once you start to nest, many people say that you're on your way to having your baby, and nesting is just getting the urge to deep clean, declutter, do all of the things. So I'm going to go through and share what's on this list, and then if I miss anything, I'll just add it in the end of the video. But on here I have declutter and deep clean, and for me, I started to deep clean and start to declutter in the 2nd trimester because I was like, I have this burst of energy, I can move, nothing is bothering me. Let me go through these closets, you know, give things away, throw things away, move things out the way super early. So when I'm feeling the way I feel now, I don't have to be trying to move everything. I won't have to need, you know, a lot of assistance day to day, like my husband be working and stuff. So I wanted to get that out the way early, and I wanted to focus on the bathroom areas, the hallway closet, our homeschool space for sure, my closet, the kitchen, like cabinets and stuff like that. You can do your freezer, you can clean out your oven, like a deep clean. Those are some areas that you can focus on, but I would say choose the the junkiest area and the area that you're going to use the most frequently once your baby gets here. You want things organized, and you want other people to maybe get you things so when you're resting, right? So that's that. Of course, I have washing all baby clothing and all baby, like pretty much items, and that would be like all the newborn stuff, the blankets, the bedding, and like a sensitive free and clear detergent. Of course, you do this towards the end of your 3rd trimester, but this list is not in order as I said. All right, it also says deep clean the nursery. I would say we don't have a nursery, so it's more so our bedroom, and that we've already got that covered. I already, you know, cleaned everything out, know where we're going to put things. Her bed is actually already in there and up and stuff, so we got that out the way. You can set up your baby storage, so whether it's a dresser, changing table, any storage things you want, like we have an over the door hanger for our cloth diapers, to just set up those things. You also are going to be stocking like your diaper station, your changing station, going through the diapers and stuff like that, and just setting up different caddies around the house. So maybe one for diapers, one for like a nursing station, one, you can also have a basket in the bathroom for your postpartum needs. You can have a caddy for your car when you're out and about and you know, may leave something. So getting things like that set up. But the one thing I would say prioritize really is this freezer meal, prepping meals in advance, stocking your pantry, stocking up on household supplies. And that's something I've really been prioritizing, like household supplies, like soaps, cleaning supplies, you know, paper towels, tissue, deodorant, toothpaste. And then of course the pantry, I recently switched from the cleaning stuff to the pantry. So like whatever pantry stuff you like, that's what I'm working on right now. And I'm also doing freezer meals this time. So I'm going to be cooking easy dinners, and maybe muffins or like breakfast for this postpartum and for that first week after giving birth, so I can have some, you know, nutritious ready-made soup that can be heated up. I do plan on having a meal train, so having people also bringing meals by here, but who knows when people will be ready to actually cook those meals. So in order for me to prevent waiting on people or having my husband get in there and cook those first few days, I just want to have something already prepped. So I'm going to do a separate video on that. If you want to see those meals and what I'm prepping, let me know, comment below. I also have created a snack basket, and that could be on your postpartum cart or it could be something that's just in the area where you're gonna sit and nurse the baby. It could also be something that you share with your children, you know, because they have a new sibling and it's like, okay, can I still do what I was doing? All right, so the next thing is stock up on household essentials, which I already said, the cleaning supplies, toilet paper, and all of that. And then something else on here is the baby proof, like areas where the baby will be. Now, baby proofing you don't have to do right off bat, but it's basically like the outlets and things that the baby can get into once they start crawling. You know, if you want to do it in advance, you can, but it's something you could do later. And then the last long, lengthy list is basically the logistics, labor itself, and postpartum. Right? So something that I have really been thinking about this whole pregnancy is finding a pediatrician that aligns with our values and stuff like that, and I do have one. So you have to book a consultation, and I remember doing this as a second time mom, like interviewing different doctors to see what their practices were, what they were okay with, and you know, things of that nature. So that's important to make sure you have a pediatrician beforehand, right? You also want to get registered at the hospital. I know my hospital said be registered by 35 weeks. So that's just something important to sign all the forms and documents you will need. Of course, third trimester, towards the end, you want to install the car seats, right? Just get the car ready. Sometimes people are not prepared and they have to install it after the baby is born, but you don't want that to be you. At least have it prepared, okay? And if you don't know how to do it yourself, you can go to like the fire station or other places that do the car seat installs just to make sure it's installed properly. All right, next is to delegate the meal train organization that I was talking about. So just, you know, asking friends and family members to set up a meal train to where people are able to pick certain days to bring you home cooked food, or if they purchased it, or whatever the case may be, but just making sure that you have a constant supply of nutritious foods. So that's something you don't have to think about, right? You want to rest and prioritize rest and recovery. All right, so since I am a stay-at-home mom, this one doesn't apply to me, but if you have to get things together at work, like, you know, letting them know you'll be on maternity leave and all of that type of stuff, or even when it comes to your bills, just having those set up, you know, on auto pay if you can, just to have one less worry, right? You may forget something. Once your baby is here, your mind is going to be focused on baby, all things baby, right? So we don't want anything to slip out of the window. A tip that I saw online, which is very important, right, is to also adjust your life insurance. And this is to adjust it to, you know, either up your life insurance or to add a different policy or to, you know, include baby, you know, things of that nature. So that's something to think about. As well as I'm a mom of 3 already. We homeschool, so I have to arrange childcare. Who's going to be keeping them? Who's going to keep them when I go into labor? Who's going to keep them when I need a little downtime? Who am I comfortable with keeping them, right? Those are things you want to think about in advance, not after the fact. You do want some time to yourself, you know, but if you don't have the support for it, I definitely get it. There were times where my kids were with me the whole time throughout recovery, right? Even with the birth of my second daughter, my first baby was in the delivery room with us because it happened so quick. So she was there when I had her sister. She was like almost 2, so she didn't know. But it's like, if you don't have that support, then I totally get it. But we do have to implement things around the home, and I can talk about that a little bit later, to where you make it easier. You prep activities, you prep different baskets, you get them little toys. You know, you have set things that they do just so you can still be able to get your rest. All right, next on the list is if you have people coming over to help you, just letting them know where things are. You can have things labeled. This goes here, this goes there, you know. No one knows your home like you, so especially if you're doing a nesting party, which I am planning to do, and hopefully I can share more on that. You just want to have things already labeled and let them know where it's supposed to go. All right, next is to finalize your birth plan. This is very, very important, as I said, when it comes to going in the hospital and doing a childbirth class and all of that. Your birth plan is pretty much a layout of how you want things to go. It gives you your options. It lets your provider know what you want and don't want. So say for instance, you want to go unmedicated, don't mention pain medications to me at all, right? If you want your light dim, if you want things to be videoed, if you want to get a mirror to see your baby coming out, if you want to take your placenta home, if you want delayed cord clamping, all of that should be on your birth plan, and you need to plan it out. I will say birth plans do not go according to what we always plan. It just never do, but at least you have an idea of the things that you will want. Because in labor, I'm going to say everything goes out the window unless you have a support person or providers that really care, right? So my husband is always my advocate of, if I say I don't want something, he's gonna make sure that that doesn't happen. So birth plan, look at all the options, be prepared in case things go left. What are my options? How would I want things to be? Am I prepared in case of emergencies? Very, very important. Next on my list is to pack your hospital bag, which I am preparing to do as of next week. But just to prepare your bag as well as your partner bag. So prepare your husband's bag. I'm probably just gonna put all of our stuff together with him. I just know I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I've been collecting all of the things to put in mine. I have my bag already out. I just haven't packed it. So that's something I will be doing and putting in the car very soon. So I'm excited about that. It's better to be prepared than not be prepared. And I know many people who go in and think, okay, I'm not gonna give birth right now, but then they go in labor and they have nothing packed. That's not gonna be me. This is my 4th time around, and as you know, with each child, labor is shortened and you need to be prepared. Although I've gone 40 plus weeks with all 3 of my children so far, I just feel a little bit different about this one, right? So of course, along with the hospital bag, pack your baby bag, things you would want your baby to wear, you know, specific diapers and wipes if you are picky like me. Let's just be honest. Blankets, any essentials you want your baby to have, all the special keepsakes, whatever, for pictures and stuff like that. Make sure you have that already packed. Gather your postpartum supplies, which is very, very important. These are things that you're going to need for rest and recovery. So this would be the pads, the six bath spray, the numbing spray, the nursing bras, the nursing pads, the pumps, the snacks, like all of the things. I could do a whole separate video if you want me to show you what I'm preparing postpartum. If you want to take your placenta home, you need to prepare on how you're going to carry that home. All hospitals have different policies, and if you have a healthy pregnancy and nothing goes wrong during labor and delivery, you can take placenta home. I know I recently asked in my appointment, and she was like, as long as you take it home within 24 hours, just keep it on ice. And she asked what I plan to do with it, like bury it or eat it or whatever. And you know, of course I gave her my answer. So that is an option. Many people don't know that you can take care of princess at home, but once you get home you don't know what to do with it, right? Some people. So it's like the option is there, whether you do it or not, that's up to you, but it's an option. And then I also have create a labor playlist. I really want someone else to create one for me, just music. And for me, when I'm in labor, I want like upbeat music to get me moving. Like when I was doing throughout the home birth process, we did line dances to get things going, just to keep the labor moving and stuff like that. So I want upbeat music. I don't want any like, you know, sad music. I need upbeat so that I'm moving, so that I'm changing positions, so that I'm in a good mood. Yeah, so I need to be working on that. I did ask someone to do it for me, but I don't think they did it. So I'm gonna get to that, as well as, you know, you want to be drinking your red raspberry leaf tea or whatever you do to prepare for labor, especially in the last few weeks, like starting at 36 weeks to 40 weeks. Red raspberry leaf tea. Some people eat dates. Let's see what else I have on here. Yeah, many people say also to keep a contraction timer on your phone so you can know when it's time to actually go to the hospital, so you can know like how far apart your contractions are, if you're in actual labor and things of that nature. Let's see. I feel like I have missed a lot of things, but I also feel like I've said a lot of things. So let me go to my phone, because initially I was doing this as I thought about it. Like I created my list from scratch, and I was like, this is what I need to do. Okay, now I have not mentioned homeschool, so I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. But basically it's the same as with everything else. I have been prepping in advance. I have been testing out curriculum and just routines that I think would be best fit once we once the baby's here, right? I do want to take at least 2 weeks off, but I also have online programs that we started utilizing just to test out, so they can still be learning independently. They have online piano that they can continue to do. They have workbooks that they can do independently, and I can just check it from bed, right? What else? Sometimes my husband will step in and do the lessons, which is always so funny to me. I'm not sure why. Because not all parents have the same. Wait, what happened to my checklist? Oh no, did it get deleted? No. Y'all. Oh goodness. I'm devastated. Yeah, so I had a whole third trimester checklist in my phone. I have no clue what happened to it. It seems like it's been deleted, and I'm like devastated. I know what I requested and stuff like that, but as far as homeschooling, there'll be a super dedicated video for things I'll be doing and things I'll be prepping. And I feel like I had other things on my list, but I don't have them. So yeah, once I start doing the nest with me videos, I do want to show a little freezer meal prep, maybe even like a little nesting party, like sneak peeks of it, of people helping me prepare, which is so foreign to me. But I'm like, I want to, you know, step out my comfort zone and allow people to help me that are willing to help, right? So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm super excited. I'm counting down the weeks. My kids are counting down the weeks. Every day they're like, how many days do we have left, and things of that nature. So we're excited. We're so excited about everything, you know, everything. So hopefully this list was helpful, and if you have any questions, of course, drop them in the comments section below. If I missed anything, I may add them in the comments or just add them when I'm editing the video. But that's all I have for now. See you guys in my next one.